The problem is they need to be a better version of themselves, right? Not yourself, I think, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And I think too many parents like push their expectation on the kids, right? And it's tough not to do, right?
Yeah. Well, at least I can only imagine. I I understand that well, the best thing that I think that I can do to push my kids is to be the thing that I want them to be. With no words needed after that. Just be the man.
Yeah.
And then they'll aspire to be that. At least for my sons. Um, but I don't know. I mean, if I don't want them hating me just
Yeah.
because I push them so
Yeah.
much. And I already know out the gate they're going to feel something, because I mean they're going to look at their dad
Yeah.
and
I mean, you
just
have
see
to
the
count some
stuff.
things, right? Like you're an Olympic track athlete, they have to lift with that. You're great businessman have to lift with that, So there's some pressure just involved with that, right?
Yeah, or at least I would imagine. Now, I think for me, I wouldn't feel it as pressure. I would just take it on. Oh, I mean, yeah, there's pressure to it, but I'll get excited about it.
Mhm.
But I don't know his temperament.
Yeah.
We got to see, and we got time. I mean, we have time to at least for me to get to that part. I mean, I just want to enjoy
Yeah.
him as a
Yeah,
person, as a
definitely.
human
Yeah.
being. A smiling child in this world that just loves everything. I want to enjoy that part first, and then as he matures into someone with their own
Mhm.
thoughts and way of navigating the world, then kind of see where it goes from there. But I don't want to do too much though, because I don't like when people do it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the number one thing that I needed was less of everything. I just because I already had it, so I didn't need people trying to bring it out of me. I just needed them to leave me alone and let me do my thing.
Yeah, I know that's a big deal too. Is money real? Like, and if it's real, how can we just print out trillions of dollars of money like it's nothing? Like, is the concept real? Is the money is it just a made up concept? Is like,
Yeah. Well, no. Well, currency is not real. Oh, well, I mean, currency is just a way to display value. Um, and even like back in the COVID era, they printed okay, I mean they did create money because they bought treasuries in mass that they could then use to basically convert into the currency. But you can print currency, you can't print value. Um, so I mean it's a there's a gray area there. I mean money is real because like if I wanted to sell you this Texas hat uh for an iPhone, um I would have to basically give you a bunch of hats for the iPhone. And money is just a way to say, okay, well, the value of these hats is this, and I'm gonna display it with this, as an intermedium. Um, and I'll just give you that instead for the iPhone. I mean, that's all that money is. Um, now it came about backed by gold completely. But once we became off of the gold standard, not so much. But the government they technically print money. They can print money. There's a very convoluted process of doing that. They can print money, but it can't print value. They can give you all the money in the world, but if it's worthless, I mean, would you take Venezuela? Would you take $1 million and whatever the currency that Venezuela uses? I mean,
yeah,
of course
no,
not.
no way, no,
Yeah, because it has no value
no.
to it. And I mean, and not to go all the way down that rabbit hole, but only reason why our money still has value now is because we offshore the inflation to other countries, essentially.
It's true. I think I'm probably making this up, but something like the value of the United States dollars was 80% or something. Now it's down to 70%, or is it like the cost or the value is degrading versus a world currency or something like that?
What do you mean? What do you mean? I
So,
I
so,
I,
so,
I think I know what you're
so
saying,
like
but
the,
can you word
back
it
back the
differently?
day, like a dollar was really worth 80 cents,
Hmm.
and compared to other markets, now it's down to 65% or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Since like the 30s or something
I think so.
around
Yeah,
there. Yeah, yeah. Because of inflation.
yeah,
Yeah. Which uh, again, I'm no economist. I'm a banker. Um, so I try not to, I try to speak, for what it is and not my personal input. But you can make a case that you need inflation, especially as you have more people, and you need inflation to coincide essentially with the growth of GDP of your country, because you don't want a situation where you have the capacity to produce a lot, but you don't have enough money. That's deflation. You don't want that.
No, no.
But you don't want what we've been experiencing, too much of the opposite of that too. Not enough goods and services and too much money. But then the price of everything goes up. So you got to find a middle ground. But if you look at it that way, because population growth, I mean, has been happening since the beginning of time, um, barring any kind of exotic event. So you do need inflation to kind of keep track with that, so you can keep growing your GDP to a certain degree.